Hey folks, Carrie and Ken on Out and About Wainwright.
Hope you enjoy this 3-minute blast.
Hey folks, it's time for another 3-minute blast here, election edition. And this time I am with Councillor Bob Foley, who is a candidate for the town council in Wainwright here. So welcome, Bob. Thanks for doing this. Maybe let's just start, Bob, with introduce yourself, what you're running for, and maybe tell us the reasons why you are running for town council for this election.
Well, I'm like to say I'm Bob Foley. I was born and raised in Wainwright. All my school years, the whole works. My work life, the whole works is in Wainwright, and I'm very proud to be part of Wainwright. One of the reasons I'm running again is I enjoy it. I have the time and I have the commitment. And there is some things that have to be addressed. Nothing serious, but I feel that I can contribute to those things. Like in the community, I enjoy volunteering for lots of things. I'm on the Wainwright and District Community Health Foundation. I was a participant in, and it's pretty well done now, as the CT scanner project. And I've been a 40-year member of the Wainwright Stampede Association. Yes, I enjoy the town. I think it's important that we put back in more than what we take out. And I see that with a lot of people in the community.
You betcha. And I know you volunteer a lot. We appreciate that. I'm a lifer too here in Wainwright. I love it. What do you see, Bob, because you're a current councillor for the Wainwright Town Council, what do you see as the priorities that people are mentioning, major concerns that people are bringing up to you?
Yeah, well, as you've probably heard, First Avenue is high on the agenda, but in order to do it, it's like you don't just go build something, borrow the money and build it, because the taxes go up. There is grants available and you apply for them, and you might wait a year, or might wait 2 years, but when you get 60-70% of a multi-million-dollar contract, it sure helps out on the tax, on people's taxes.
Definitely worth
that. I think one thing that is quite important is 23rd Avenue, heading out to the quarter section mark and out to the highway, and it's rough figures, it's a $9 million project, but there's lots of people, businesses that are interested in building out there, and that's what they'd like, is a highway access. And when you have more buildings, businesses move in there, it improves the tax base, and when you have growth, taxes don't raise as much, and hopefully not at all, but
that's right.
Those are the two things. Yeah.
Gotcha. New business means new tax dollars coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There's some people are concerned about crime, but our crime is on par with any community. There's nobody any better or any worse, but hiring policemen is not going to solve the problems. The problems is with the judicial system. When the Mountie takes them down, puts them in the cell, and they let them out the back door, the courts do it isn't going to stop crime. And we have so many repeat offenders. It is, I think it's tough to be a Mountie. You know what I mean? What are we doing?
I agree with you 100%. Yeah. We hear that daily almost.
Yeah.
That's perfect, Bob. So here's a couple of maybe a couple of fun questions here, just to help let people know a little bit about who Bob Foley is. Let's add a couple here. What would be your favorite meal, Bob, if you were to pick one?
Gee, that's hard to say, but I always like, and I don't do it too often, but I always like a steak sandwich. Nice. I like beef, Alberta beef preferably.
Me too. And there's a lot of great steak sandwiches around Wainwright, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Yes.
As well as your own on the barbecue. What about dream vacation? Do you ever like to get out and go places? And money's no object, time is no object. Where would you go? What would you do?
Well, dream vacation. Actually, I guess being married, and Erica was from Germany. We've been back together 4 times, and she has relatives, except for her close family. She has no other relatives here, but over there she has lots. So it's nice to go and meet them, and it's quite a few years in between. So I'd like to go a lot of places, but I'd rather go there and and visit with her relatives. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Family is pretty important. I have lots of families. You probably know that.
Yes, I do.
And, she's from a family of 6, and there's only 2 live in town, but it isn't quite the same as what my family is. We could have had 4 hockey teams. Just when I mentioned hockey teams, I want to mention, way back when I was a youth, your father coached me in Phoebe's.
Is that right, hey?
And then some years later, I was able to coach your brother in seniors. So
Yeah.
it goes
Yeah.
around, you know what I mean?
Yeah, isn't that
And I
cool?
think what you do in the community, I think I really appreciate what your dad did, coaching hockey and spend time with kids. He had no kids of his own at that time in hockey.
Yeah.
And then he was served his time in town council, whatever. He served the community. And I think that's very important for people to do.
I do as well, Bob, and I appreciate you bringing that up. That means a lot to me, and
Yeah.
and I agree 100% to give back to the community. You're a person that born and raised here, myself as well, so we see those things happen and appreciate it much. So thank you so much for being on town council. That's not an easy job, and you're not the first person to mention that you have the time. And although that seems like maybe a strange thing, but it's not really, because it takes time to make this a commitment and a priority in your life. So we appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Best of luck in the upcoming election. It's October 18th, so get out there and vote, people. And we will see you next time on the next 3 Minute Blast. Thanks again, Bob.
Thank you very much, Gary.